Welcome to this explainer. You know, if you've been watching the business world over the last couple of years, you've probably felt it, a massive shift in the air. Companies are getting, well, leaner, smarter, and way more agile in how they hire their experts. So today, we're diving right in to demystify this new ecosystem and break down exactly how fractional consulting actually works.
Let's start by hooking right into the core concept here. Just imagine this for a second, okay? What if you could get top-tier, battle-tested strategy and execution from a seasoned executive, but without the massive overhead, the benefits packages, and the equity demands of a full-time hire? Well, that exact promise is literally reshaping how modern businesses operate.
And just to show you how incredibly fast this concept is catching on, let's look at the numbers. According to recent market reports, the number of fractional leaders out there has absolutely exploded. We're talking about a jump from 60,000 professionals in 2022 to a staggering 120,000 in 2024. That's doubled. So yeah, this isn't just some temporary fad. It's a rapid evolution in how high-level talent is deployed.
Okay, so let's lock down our definition here, because clarity is absolutely key. A fractional advisor isn't just someone sitting on the sidelines shouting advice. No, they are senior operators who actually embed right into your team on a part-time basis. They manage budgets, they attend the leadership meetings, and most importantly, they remain totally accountable for actual outcomes, not just churning out outputs.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, the fractional consulting boom. Second, fractional versus traditional consulting. Third, the economics of fractional work. Fourth, AI and future industry trends. And fifth, how to make it work.
Section 1. The fractional consulting boom. A shift in how businesses access expertise.
So why exactly is this massive shift happening right now? Well, we can actually trace a 57% increase in fractional jobs all the way back to 2020. And the reason? The post-pandemic rise of remote work totally normalized having your leadership located somewhere else. Combine that shift with the ongoing economic uncertainty we've all seen, and businesses suddenly craved flexible cost structures. They really needed highly specialized expertise to navigate the turbulent waters, but they just couldn't always justify locking in a permanent, six-figure executive salary. Makes sense, right?
Section 2. Fractional versus traditional consulting. The great contrast.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how we can truly understand fractional consulting by looking closely at what it is not. Let's compare the shape of the engagement. A standard traditional consulting project, think of your big McKinsey, Bain, or Deloitte engagements, is typically a very discrete 8 to 16-week project with a rigid scope. But a fractional advisory role, that's an ongoing fluid relationship. It scales up or down, month to month, depending entirely on exactly what the business needs at that given moment. And here's where the rubber really meets the road: accountability. Traditional consultants are essentially built to analyze a problem, recommend a solution, hand you a shiny slide deck, and then exit stage left. The actual implementation? That's completely on you. A fractional executive, though, stays in the trenches. They are fully accountable for ensuring that the work is actually operating and functioning. Basically, they don't just tell you what to do, they do it with you.
There's a great quote from fractional CTO Kathy Keating that perfectly humanizes this data and brilliantly shifts our perspective. She says, CEOs aren't buying skills when they hire a fractional. They are buying the person that has the ability to solve their problem. It's so true. They aren't just shopping for a checklist of technical skills. They are buying a dedicated problem solver whose own success is directly tied to the company's success.
Now, actually, let me add a quick caveat here. Fractional work isn't some magic bullet for every single scenario. For instance, if a company is going through a massive post-merger integration, a huge multi-year cost-out program, or some complex regulatory remediation that literally requires 20-plus people physically on site, yeah, traditional staffed consulting is absolutely still the right tool for that job. It's all about matching the right model to the right problem.
Section 3. The economics of fractional work. Breaking down the dollars and cents.
The economics of this are frankly striking. Look at this. A full-time executive is going to cost a business anywhere from $250,000 to $400,000 a year, and that's before benefits. A traditional consulting project could range anywhere from $20,000 to over $300,000 just to get some recommendations. But a fractional executive? That typically runs between $7,000 and $22,000 a month. That means you're getting actual implementation and real leadership for a massive 60 to 80% cost reduction compared to a full-time hire. That's a game changer.
So, the crucial point for us to understand here is why it's so much cheaper.
When a business hires a fractional leader, they are paying strictly for that senior operator's time and expertise. That's it. They aren't footing the bill for bloated firm overhead. There are absolutely no junior associates learning on the client's dime, no massive agency leverage pyramids, and no expensive administrative overhead just to polish up some PowerPoint slides.
And the beautiful thing, this economic model works incredibly well for the experts themselves, too. Get this, over 52.8% of fractional leaders reported earning more than $100,000 last year. Because it provides predictable recurring revenue through monthly retainers, it's become a highly attractive, totally lucrative career pivot for seasoned professionals.
Section 4. AI and Future Industry Trends. Technology's Impact on Consulting.
We really can't talk about the future of consulting without talking about artificial intelligence, right? Listen to this staggering stat. 66% of consulting buyers have stated they will actively stop working with consulting organizations that do not incorporate AI into their services. Let that sink in. AI is no longer a nice-to-have, it is an absolute mandate from the market.
And this, my friends, creates a massive opening. Currently, about 80% of executives say AI is critical to their business, yet most of them lack the in-house talent to actually implement it. So what happens? Fractional AI strategy officers are perfectly positioned right now to step into that void. They can guide AI ethics, run predictive planning, and use AI to enhance data analysis for rapid insights. They provide immense value in just a fraction of the standard time.
Section 5. How to make it work. Practical execution for fractional consultants. Okay, so we've seen the theory, now let's look at the practical execution. For a consultant stepping into this world, managing the workload is quite literally everything. The standard successful operating model, it involves maintaining a maximum of 3 to 5 clients at any given time. You'll typically dedicate about 10 to 15 hours per month to each retainer. Crucially, though, you have to build in buffer time for unexpected crises because, well, that's what leaders do. And when it comes to finding these clients, an overwhelming 92.8% are acquired through professional referrals. So yeah, your network is your net worth here. But there is a major trap we really need to address. The single biggest risk in this model is scope creep, basically accidentally becoming a full-time employee. To avoid this, you've got to follow these steps. First, set crystal clear boundaries on day one. Second, strictly document any changes to the scope of your work. Third, hold regular monthly check-ins to realign on goals. And fourth, the hardest one for some of us, you have to learn how to confidently say no when a request falls outside your strategic remit. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. As the business landscape just continues to evolve, the way we access top-tier talent absolutely has to evolve with it. The next time a massive business challenge arises, the question isn't just who can we hire? The real question to ask yourself is this. Do you just need a slide deck full of recommendations, or do you need a leader who will roll up their sleeves and actually build the solution right there with you? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.